Bad Christian.
Hey America, Bad Christian here again. And today we're going to talk about the Trump conviction and what that means for America. Now, one of the things that I found interesting about the Trump conviction is it was 34 accounts on one hush money case. And the interesting thing is about all this is it's going to set a precept within the court, the Supreme Court, that I don't know if all of us really realize what that means for the future of the establishment. Now, when I say establishment, we're talking about that swamp that he promised to clean out there. And I know a lot of people like to believe that Donald Trump is not part of the establishment. But Donald Trump is part of the establishment. It's been a plan the whole time. People say, well, no, they don't have his finger on him. They absolutely have his finger on him. We've got photos from '93 of him hanging out with Epstein at the same time with Bill. When the Epstein case came up, we found that there was we were all worried about who was on the client list, but nobody, left or right, really made a big deal out of the fact that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton were one of the biggest things talked about within that case. All 400 and some odd pages of that document that we had to go through to find that stuff. But the funny thing is that if you really stop and think about this, they absolutely did have a way to have their finger on them. Now, I know the photos are from '93, and the first case didn't happen till, 2005, something like that. And it carried on to, 2008 or something. I don't know the dates exactly, but so there was this interaction that happened with Epstein early on. They obviously knew something was going on back then, okay? And then it just kind of got shuffled under the rug and nobody really worried about it. Well, then you've got Bill Clinton and Donald Trump been friends their whole lives. Guys, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were at Trump's wedding, all right? Some will say that Trump and Hillary are cousins. I don't know if that's true or not. It makes sense if you look at early pictures of Hillary Clinton and you look at the same age as Ivana Trump. They look a lot alike, like they could be related. Now, I don't know for sure, but it does seem a little bit interesting to me, as I like to say. Now, when it came to Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, I don't know if a lot of you people realize this, but Donald Trump was a registered Democrat for 40 years, to the extent that when he began to run and ended up in the caucus or whatever, one of the things that they were really adamant about was getting him to take an oath to the Republican Party. And the reason they wanted him to take that oath is because they were like, how do we even know that you're a Republican? You've been a Democrat your whole life. And guess what Donald Trump said? No, I'll not take an oath to the Republican Party. Interesting. That's so interesting. And you know what? You want to talk about this Donald Trump being unfairly charged and it's a witch hunt and all that. No, they know what's going on. They've been talking about it the whole time, guys. I mean, think about what Donald Trump said. We could play the clip.
That someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
The fact that they were starting this rhetoric early on in the campaign. He was talking about throwing her in jail on a public stage.
I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it. But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. And we're going to have a special prosecutor. When I speak, I go out and speak. The people of this country are furious.
And they were both grinning about it and laughing at us at the same time. Why do you think that old Mr. Biden got that Cheshire cat grin going on that he got going on the other day when he was asked if Donald Trump was a political prisoner?
Can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the condition...
So what does all this actually change for us, guys? The precepts that are going to be set from this is going to be that if you're not a part of the establishment, you'll never be able to be made part of the establishment. If you're not a part of the establishment, you're never going to get to run for president now. That's done. thanks to Donald Trump, thanks to the Republican Party, thanks to the Democratic Party. They've both been playing us, guys. We've got played, and it's too late now. There's nothing we can do. You know what, America? There's many, many people out there who are probably the same level as me, a lower to middle class American, who would make a hell of a lot better president than either of these jackasses standing out here on stage. But you know what? Even if he was to go out here and get a following of people and get them to stand up and say, you know what, we want to hire a real average American, somebody that's never been rich their whole life, somebody that knows something about what the average American needs, somebody who's actually a patriot, you know, like actually served, actually knows their way around a gun, you know. We don't have to post their head on a picture of Rambo to pretend that they support the Second Amendment, you know, like a real person. If one of you real people is going to stand up and think that you're going to go in there and run for any particular office, kiss that goodbye, because it ain't going to happen. Because you know what they're going to do? Because of these 34 charges that he was convicted on? Do you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, oh, well, you've got campaign money. And you've got campaign money sitting over here. You've got your own money sitting over here. And you can't do anything with your own money until the campaign's over, because if you do, we'll charge you with felonies for using campaign money for things that were not of the campaign. And so that's why I bring it, oh, this is about the hush money case, the hush. But this is not about hush money, guys. This has nothing to do with hush money. This has to do with appropriating campaign funds and making it impossible for future people who would not agree with the establishment to be under their rule and do what they want to do. So they'll have the opportunity and the option later on to force charges and weaponize the DOJ, just like Donald Trump's been telling you the whole time. Everything he's been telling you is true. Yes, it's all rigged. Yes, it's all rigged. Yes, this is all a scam. But guess what? He's in on it. He's in on it. And why would he be in on it? Well, they don't got no reason to have their thumb on him. Don't forget about old Epstein. Don't forget about Bill Clinton. I mean, you literally had Bill Clinton at the golf outing 48 hours before Donald Trump announced that he was running for president, shaking hands with Donald Trump. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump shaking hands and saying, and this was the moment, and if you go do your research, you'll find it. Everybody likes to do the research anyway, that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton asked Donald Trump to run against his wife, whom they were both all friends and familiar with. And then all of a sudden, they come out of the woodwork, and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton acting like they hate each other, acting like they're going to stand on stage and they're going to scream and argue and they can't stand one another. That's awful interesting, because you guys have been friends your whole life. Okay? And look at the kind of trash that both of these people are hanging out. Okay? The McMahons and the Trumps, they've been 2-3 generations friends, guys. This thing is elitist, and they're all part of it. And if you make the mistake to believe that Donald Trump is not part of that establishment, you've been fooled. But it doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter is because the establishment's got the seat sealed. And there's nothing that us plain old Americans can do from here on out. There will never be another honest man in the seat of presidency. There will never be an honest woman in the seat of the presidency. It will not happen. It cannot happen. It's been sealed. It's locked down. We're screwed, guys. So get ready for the ride, because you know what? They just keep tightening the chain on us, guys. And there's nothing we can do to stop it, because they've had control over us the whole time. This has all been planned. It's too easy. The information's all there. They're talking about it the whole time, acting like they don't know what's going on. The whole system's corrupted, and the people that are in it are corrupted. And I don't believe that chasing after either one of them at this point, either side, left or right, I don't think there's an honest person standing out there. I think the last honest man that stood in the establishment, they wanted to hang in the street. But what do I know? I'm just a bad Christian.